All right. I guess I'm about as ready as I'm going to get here. I've been going over stuff. Let's go ahead and kill this music. And make that music go away. There we go. Let's see here. And unmute myself after I cough. All right. Yes. Still not used to StreamYards, but here we go. And right off the bat, thank you, Killer Rabbit from Space, for joining me tonight. Great to see you in the chat. I can only hope that my audio is coming through all right. I can only hope that. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Click this, click that. Yeah, StreamYards has a very strange layout. Not entirely sure what to make of it. Let's see. Go here. Do this. There we go. That looks better. And what am I doing? Isn't this riveting? Live, great live entertainment here. My audio is top notch. Cool. That's always good to know. Everything else, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here, but I'm going to head with it anyway. And let me take this link because I kind of want to share it out to people. Copy this. Paste it here. There we go. All right. Okay. Well, I guess I'm about as ready as I'm going to get to get right into the meat of tonight's live stream. For the past few months, I've been on a K drama kick because, well, let's face it, the TV landscape for America is pretty bad. It's pretty dry out there for televised entertainment, and I've been looking all over the place for other shows to enjoy. There's only so much American TV I can take, so I've been diving into the wonderful world of the K dramas. I've touched on many of my new favorite TV shows over past few months, talking about a number of them that I've really found myself enjoying. Let's see. Please bear with me. I am looking at everything on StreamYards, wondering if I'm hitting the right thing or poking the right button. Let's see. Right off the bat, I want to thank everybody out there for joining me tonight. This is more of a impromptu, spur of the moment thing. I try to get myself into a habit of doing one live stream a week. And usually the time I have to do it is usually late at night, anytime between 11 p.m. and midnight. Let's see. There we go. Ah, today you have watched several episodes of Castle. That's cool. Yeah, I kind of remember that show. It's been a while. I've watched. I think I have watched every episode of Castle. I can't remember most of it though. Yes, I do remember the ending of it. Oddly enough, and then a few episodes here and there I kind of remembered catching. American TV does have a few good police procedural shows, but those are I find few and far between for me. I've tried a few of them, but couldn't get into them. There were a number that I found myself enjoying, and then a number of police procedural shows I always hear people talking about, but have never tried myself. I just couldn't get into them. When I did try a few episodes, and then, like I said, I was diving into foreign TV, like European TV shows, mysteries, dramas, police procedural shows over and overseas. And then came the K drama and J drama, and then I just kind of got hooked on that level of writing, production, and storytelling. I was hooked with many a good K drama shows out there. Let's see, I see four people watching. I want to thank you all for joining me again, whether you're in the chat or just lurking, seeing what I'm about. Oh, you're on season 5, episode 18. That's cool. I can't even remember how many seasons of Castle there were. That's how long it's been. Like I said, I know I've watched every episode of them, or probably almost every episode. I just can't remember them. It's like, well, I've slept since then. Uh, let's see. Might as well dig right into it here. Over the past month, I've come across a new crop of some K dramas that I've found myself really enjoying. So I wanted to take a bit of time and kind of share the love of some of these shows I've come across here. First one I'll be chatting about tonight is Taxi Driver. This is well, let's see. I came across it. Where did I come across it on? Netflix or Viki? I want to say I caught this one on Viki. I'm trying to find other streaming services besides Netflix to enjoy entertainment on. So go over this little synopsis of Taxi Driver. As it starts here, Doji has lived more honestly than anyone else as an officer in the special forces, yet when a serial killer murders his mother, he spends his days in agony. While feeling wronged and broken, Doji meets Jang Sung Chul, who recruits him to work for his company, Rainbow Taxi. Far from an ordinary taxi service, Rainbow Taxi is a secret organization that avenges victims who the law didn't protect. Here, he becomes a star driver who delivers satisfying revenge. Meanwhile, Hana is a prosecutor who investigates Rainbow Taxi. She is furious with their lawless behavior, but at the same time, she feels confused about seeing them solve cases that the law cannot. Between those who believe that revenge embodies true justice and those who pursue the outlaws, Doji seeks what justice truly means. I mean, it's not a bad write up. That's not a bad synopsis of the series. I've seen season 1 of this, and I've really found myself enjoying it. I've just started season 2 of it. Let's see. Go here. Here we go. Pulled up a nice photo of the Taxi Driver cast. This follows the really familiar 5-man band formula for your cast. You have the main character, the main action type character who does all the heavy lifting and fighting and all that. You have his boss, the CEO of the taxi company who started the organization and ended up recruiting the hero to handle all the heavy lifting. You have a technical whiz computer expert who has her own backstory. Then you have the mechanical genius engineer types on the ends here. So yeah, 5 main characters. I was really quite surprised with the characters getting equal time in their story. I mean, you don't have all the series focused on 1 or 2 characters. They all get chances to shine equally. And your engineer and mechanic type characters, they are kind of played off as comic relief or comic sidekicks, but they do contribute pretty well to the overall team effort. They do provide some comedy or some comic relief, but they're not joke characters, which is really quite refreshing. And then here on the end, you have the prosecutor character who starts investigating why some of the criminals in the city start disappearing and turning up missing and whatnot. Oh, in the chat, I see Tim the Enchanter. Hello. Thank you for joining me tonight. Good to see you in the chat. So yeah, Taxi Driver 2021. Just found it, just binged all of season 1. Quite enjoyable. Let's see. I honestly was practicing the names of the cast, but here I am live talking away. I know if I tried pronouncing these names, I would end up stumbling over myself and butchering the pronunciation, so I'm not even going to try it. I do like this website I'm looking at, mydramalist.com, where I check out a lot of reviews on K-dramas. Taxi Driver, very good series. One I'm quite enjoying at the moment, and yeah, it's a recommended series. If you're new to K-dramas and want to try something new, I'm recommending Taxi Driver. Although be warned, the storylines are really heavy. I mean, season 1, they really played up some of the drama, whatnot. I mean, at the end of every episode, they flashed a number for help. Like, if you're in such and such situation depicted in this episode, please call such and such number for counseling. That's the level of storytelling and you'll find in these episodes. But overall, really enjoyable. If I were to draw a equivalent to an American series, oh, Killer Rabbit from Space. How about that guy and that other guy for now? Yes, yeah, yes. For pronouncing the cast names, yeah, I've tried that before on past live streams, and I've always found myself getting tongue tied with their pronunciations. And not to disrespect them or anything like that. It's just I don't know. I'm too Texan for those Korean names. Sorry. uh, yeah, which is crazy because when I was practicing the names earlier, I was nailing them. It's just I don't know. Doing it live, it's something about that. But yeah, trying to think of a American equivalent that I was kind of reminded of. Kind of reminded me of the A Team, the 80s TV show, the A Team, or maybe the Equalizer, where you have trained do-gooders. Trying to find a right phrase for that. People wanting to do stuff for the common good, and they look for people who need help that are in distress, and they go against the bad guys like some street hoodlums or whatever, taking care of some things, helping the little people. Yeah, that's what this show is kind of like. But yeah, quite enjoyable. That's a recommendation for me. Let's see. Next on my little list here that I was kind of sharing with everybody. This one was odd. I'm 4 episodes into this. This is Inspector Coup. Let me. There we go. Increase the size of my screen here. Going by the description here, a hard boiled investigative comedy drama that centers around the insurance investigator Koo Kyung Yi, who investigates a murder case. Koo, an intelligent woman who solves cold cases for the thrill of cracking the case rather than bringing justice to the world. By hook or by crook, she ferociously chases the truth behind every case. A college student who is a serial killer plots an accidental murder case to defraud her insurance money. That's kind of oddly phrased. It starts off with a insurance investigator, not Koo herself, not the title character, but actually a friend of hers who works for a insurance company that investigates insurance claims to see if they're legitimate or not. She comes across a missing persons case that a husband is missing and the wife is filing a claim because he's been missing for a year. So the insurance company is trying to investigate to see if he's actually alive or dead before they pay out. And they get nowhere. The insurance investigator gets nowhere in the case. She asks her longtime friend, Koo, to kind of help out. Oh, might have said if these programs dubbed or English subtitles. Most of these are going to be subtitled, unfortunately. Occasionally, I'll find one that is dubbed, which is kind of a relief because I can only read so many subtitles before I have to like stop or pause. But yeah, fortunately, most of the K dramas I've watched, the subtitling has been very well done. They don't flash across the screen, so it is kind of easy on the eyes for those of us who have, shall we say, not so youthful eyesight. Oh, thanks for pointing that out because I would have just kept on going. But yeah, Inspector Coup, the series. This is a really odd drama. It's got a lot of comedic elements in it because the title character, Ku, is I won't say a retired police detective. She kind of left the police force in kind of disgrace because she got to a point where her husband at the time, the episodes do flashbacks fleshing out her character, where her character was investigating her husband about 8 to 10 years previous to the events in episode 1, where she was trying to investigate her husband at the time, whether he was guilty of a particular crime or not. She could not decide one way or the other, and it kind of fractured the marriage. Her husband, I believe, ended up committing suicide, or shall we say self-deleting, since I understand YouTube does not like certain words. Oops. Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, the series picks up about 8 to 10 years after that. Ku is kind of a recluse, living sloppily in her apartment, and she spends a lot of her time just playing video games, drinking, eating junk food. Then her friend from the insurance company comes along and says, I need your help on this case. I can't get anywhere on it. She starts investigating the case of the missing husband whose wife has filed an insurance claim for their life insurance or whatever. Uh, they find out what happened to the husband, and then Ku, that's just a funny word to say, funny name, sorry. The detective Inspector Ku kind of uncovers some threads behind the case that kind of match other cases. And what she finds is a series of deaths that appear to be accidents. But she realizes that there is somebody out there who is a serial killer arranging murders to look like accidents. And the more she digs into it, the more she realizes that things aren't quite right. Let's see, where am I? I just finished episode 5 tonight, and it has been very entertaining. You can find this on Netflix. I couldn't find it anyplace else. Yeah, Ku sounds interesting. Might give it a try. That's you. Yeah, it's another recommendation here. I tend to talk about K dramas that I find myself enjoying, things that I can recommend, whether they've got interesting characters, plot twists here and there. Let's see. I've got a screenshot of Inspector Ku. If you were to say she's a disheveled character, that's putting it gently. I mean, you can look back and say Columbo might have been a sloppily appearing, disheveled character, but Ku takes it to a whole new level. I mean, her attire is like sweatpants or pajamas, t-shirts, and then an overcoat, and then unkempt hair. That's what she works with. She owns it, and then right off the bat, like I said, she is investigating a series of deaths that are made to look like accidents. Right off the bat, we're introduced to the antagonist of the show, somebody who is like in their 20s. So we quite literally have this Gen X versus millennial take on a thing, which is kind of interesting because we've got somebody who's in their 40s, a retired. Oh, what's this here? Ah, I will take your word for that. It's always an accident when a human falls into my stew pot. Yeah. I'll take your word for that, Killer Rabbit. uh, so yeah, I thought it was interesting to have an age difference between these two characters. You have the disheveled 40 something former police detective, and then a girl who is right out of high school going into college, and she's pretty devious. I mean, they do get into this really interesting cat and mouse game. Like I said, I'm 5 episodes into it, and they are going back and forth. Coup trying to catch the millennial killer, and it's really interesting. I mean, it really keeps you going from one episode to the next. This is another highly recommended series here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, on this page we have Ku's friend who works for the insurance company. She's the one that initially gets stumped in the first episode, calls up her friend Ku, or actually visits her apartment and looks at the pigsty that she lives in to kind of coax Ku into helping her. She like hires a cleaning crew to pretty much clean out and disinfect her apartment because it's that bad. And then she kind of bribes her with buying her a whole new gaming PC rig with monitor and all that stuff, fancy keyboard, monitor, gaming computer, and then occasionally copious amounts of alcohol because that's what Ku runs on. You have another character here who kind of works for the same insurance company. We have Ku's friend who she just hires out of the blue because he's one of her gaming colleagues when she goes gaming, like World of Warcraft or whatever. He is part of her team, so she hires him to kind of drive her around because she actually can't drive for some strange reason. Then we have the millennial serial killer and her accomplice. Like I said, this is a very good balance of comedy and drama here because it's drama, it's cat and mouse game between Ku and the millennial. It's really interesting. Let's see. Next show I want to go into here is, well, when I found this on Viki.com or Rakuten Viki streaming service you probably can find on your Roku streaming platform or whatever. Don't call it mystery. This is a very odd series. I've already finished off season one, waiting around for season two. It's called Mystery to Lunakari. I don't know. When I came across it, it was Don't Call It Mystery. Follows mystery solving college student Kuno Titano. At the beginning of the story, the police bring him in for questioning on suspicion of murdering his classmate, which was really interesting because right off the bat, it starts off with a uh, suspicious murder of somebody he knew, and he's pulled into the police station for questioning. And in pure Sherlockian fashion, he pretty much gets off the hook while putting the police in their place through a series of just basic observations and deductions by proving his own alibi and then pointing them into the direction they need to go to solve the crime. And like I said, a very good comparison to this would be Sherlock Holmes. It is subtitled, and the subtitling people call themselves the 221B Baker Street team, a direct nod to Sherlock Holmes. Let's see. Synopsis here off of Vicky's website. Titano is a quiet, intelligent, highly observant, and introverted student with no friends or girlfriends. He enjoys peace and quiet and spends his time at home quietly observing the blah, blah, blah. I can't speak. He quietly observes the passage of the seasons and cooking curry. But the tranquility of his daily existence is shattered one day when, while cooking curry, a police detective comes knocking at his door. He's then quickly arrested, hauled off to the police station, interrogated, and then from there, he just goes on to solve crime after crime. It's kind of odd how they approach this because he's a college student. All he wants to do is just be left alone. But what's funny about this is that he can't just walk down the street or go to a store without somehow, through some strange series of events or coincidences, he's drawn in to these cases where the police one in the first episode, the police kind of suspect him in one crime, but he clears himself and helps them solve the case. Later on, they start going to him for assistance, very much like Sherlock Holmes and Scotland Yard and all that. It's his approach to solving crimes that he doesn't go out and look for cases to solve. It's things just happen to him, and it's crazy. A very entertaining, well-written series. Just how to say it? Series of coincidences. He just wants to be essentially left alone so he can like enjoy his solitude, go to college classes, go back home, cook dinner, read, and that's it. But then he'll just like walk down the street or visit somebody in a hospital and get drawn into a strange case that the police end up seeking his assistance on. I mean, there's even one episode that has a very nice callback to the whodunit mystery. So yeah, pretty engaging, pretty interesting. Got another photo of the title character. He's got a unique look to him. Scarf, heavy scarf, thick curly hair. This is reminiscent of, or right off the bat, I thought of Tom Baker from Tom Baker's era of Doctor Who, but that's just the first thing I thought of when I saw this character. Direct comparison to this would be Sherlock Holmes, because he does use deductions and observations to see things that everybody else just doesn't see. Yeah, really entertaining. Quite, this is another one I can recommend. You can find it on, let's see, where was I was watching it on Viki. I'm finding that when I look up K dramas and J dramas and whatnot, Asian entertainment, I'm finding myself going to Viki far more than Netflix. For those of us out there who are trying to avoid Netflix and whatnot, uh, there are a number of other streaming services for Asian entertainment, K dramas and whatnot. So This is going to be a pretty short live stream. I knew this would go pretty quick. Actually, I've been spending the first few minutes just trying to figure out StreamYards and figure out what everything does here. Let's see. I can make that go away. There we go. So yeah, taxi driver, Inspector Coup, and then Don't Call It Mystery. As far as new K dramas I've found myself enjoying recently, those are some new recommendations. Along with I'm actually getting a pretty good list of K dramas. I'm probably going to work into a massive live stream for recommendations and discussions sometime, probably in the near future. If not, maybe just break them down into smaller review videos, because there are a number that I've found myself enjoying over the past 6 months or so. A good number here and there. Let's see. Right off the bat, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Shout out to Killer Rabbit from Space and Tim the Enchanter. Thank you all for joining me tonight. And for anybody else out there who's catching me live, lurking, seeing what I'm all about, thanks for joining me tonight. Until next time, everyone, I'll come up with something new to share with everybody. Let's see, what button ends this? Oh, that's where it is. All right, everyone. I knew this was going to be quick. I didn't want to take too long going over just 3 short shows. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Until next time, everyone. See ya.